going on, all you Cinnabon enthusiasts? Your two favorite attorneys at law are back today, and we are thrilled to be talking about one of our favorite series, coming off of Breaking Bad. It's a spin-off show about everybody's favorite criminal lawyer. Literally, he's a criminal and a lawyer. Yeah, that's right. We're talking about Better Call Saul.
From the mastermind himself. Oh, look at that. Just a little plug there. Thank you for the
plug.
Little plug, AMC. Better Call Saul mug.
We don't like Breaking Bad, the universe created by Vince Gilligan, do we?
All 11 seasons? No. I hate it. It's one of the worst shows I've ever seen. But, the mastermind behind, Breaking Bad, the Breaking Bad universe, and the prequel series, Better Call Saul, the man, the myth, the legend, Vince Gilligan. Huge fan of his since the X-Files days, and now seeing him have this whole new creation that he can create an elaborate story that pans out for 11 seasons. That's crazy. And Breaking Bad being 5, and then, Better Call Saul with this series finale wrapping up this past week. 6 seasons, and man, what a ride it was. Seeing how it all came to fruition, essentially, how it all connects. The backstory of Saul Goodman, otherwise known as Slippin' Jimmy McGill, back in the Chicago days. We know a little something about that and how he got Cicero, how he got involved with all the stuff. And he's always been kind of a slime ball, but you really see his character arc throughout the 6 seasons, and a lot of characters, familiar faces show up along the way.
What an epic, week this has been. From the finale, we've all been counting down the episodes one by one, trying to figure out what was going to happen in the end with Saul. And the way everything came together, I can't help but just be like, man, they fucking nailed it. They really nailed the ending there. It gave you all the feels. It gave you everything that you wanted, like from this character. Like, you didn't even know you wanted what happened, but in the end, you're like, that was the perfect way to wrap up this whole arc of, Slippin' Jimmy McGill and Saul Goodman. Really the only way that it could have ended. But starting back at the beginning, yeah, we're introduced, obviously to Saul Goodman from the Breaking Bad show. He popped up in, one of the earlier seasons. And, at first he wasn't planned to be a regular character. It was kind of, a one-off. They needed somebody to play the lawyer. Vince Gilligan knew of Bob Odenkirk and his work, Mr. Show, and knew his comedic roots and thought he'd be perfect for this character. And when Bob Odenkirk played the character on Breaking Bad, he was so good, it was undeniable. They had to bring him back for more. And, he made it all the way to the end of the Breaking Bad. And they thought, we have to tell the story of Saul. There's something really great that we can do here. And man, what a ride it was. And what a way that they were able to tell, Saul's story, take us back to the beginning with, how he was under his brother's Chuck's shadow, how he was always, aspiring to be this great lawyer, but he always had this like naughty side to him that was always getting in trouble, always was really good at conning people out of stuff and doing these practical jokes and messing with people. So he could never quite live up to his brother's work ethic and be at the big Hamlin and McGill, the big attorney at law. He can never be the big shot. He was always kind of under the shadow. So you see that in the show, you kind of see him trying to work his way up, do whatever he can. He goes through law school, passes the bar, and he meets this girl, this up and coming lawyer. And they really hit it off from the beginning. We're talking about Kim Wexler, played by Rhea Seehorn, another fantastic actress who I actually saw play a lawyer in a show before this, Franklin and Bash. I first saw her with Mark Paul Gosselaar and Breckin Meyer. She played a lawyer, and that's where Vince Gilligan saw her and thought she'd be perfect for this role. And man, what chemistry did her and Jimmy have on the show? Just fantastic work between the two.
Emmy award-winning performances. Kim Wexler's like up there with a lot of great females in TV, and I'm thinking of Carmela Soprano. Just one coming top of my head right now, but there's been so many, but she is that damn good. She sells this character. She has this great relationship with Jimmy before he becomes Saul Goodman. They just really feed off one another. They really equal each other out. They have a great relationship, and that all kind of changes throughout the seasons as we see this character, larger than life character, from Jimmy McGill to Saul Goodman, his alter ego, and becomes a sleazy, scumbag lawyer that we know from Breaking Bad. But what a fantastic ride, seeing how this character came into play in Breaking Bad. Odenkirk was a lot chubbier back then, younger, obviously. And the new season's the prequel. I think he looks a lot better. He looks like healthier in shape. So it's funny they don't de-age him, even though this is a prequel before Breaking Bad. He's just the same character with the wig, and plays a character and it works. You don't really think about that. I think it's just because it's really strong performances, really great writing. From Vince Gilligan, he knows how to craft out these characters, a lot of suspense. You're not sure what's going to happen next. And, coming across a lot of bad guys in this universe really sets it up nicely.
The performances and acting and writing are so strong. You're willing to look past, the age difference between now and the end of Breaking Bad. Obviously, we have the return of Mike Ehrmantraut in the show as the fixer, Walter. And he also just delivers a great performance on the show. He gets more work than he did on Breaking Bad, or at least as much as he did there. We see all these other great characters come over, and we find out what happened. It kind of fills in the gaps of what happened, even before Breaking Bad, and then towards the end of Better Call Saul, we see what happens even after Breaking Bad. So just a stellar show and just a treat to watch. Wasn't always fast paced. It was slower towards the beginning of the seasons, but man, there was always a great arc from season to season that always built to something really awesome happening at the end of each season. And it really picked up as the seasons went on. As it got further and further, we got a glimpse of Saul as Gene Takovich in the future. He's went into witness protection. He went and visited the Hoover vacuum guy and got this new alter ego working at a Cinnabon in the mall. And the way that they did that in black and white, that was very clever too, to make it distinct and make it, make that we're looking at future Saul, Gene Takovich. And the way that they gave us little nuggets of that was really well done too. They didn't give us a lot. They gave us an episode or two each season. And then in the final season, they really gave us a big batch of episodes to show what happened, after he was on the run and on the lam, all the way up until the finale.
I was going to bring that up too. Like the first episode of each season is post Breaking Bad. It's seeing Better Call Saul, also known as Gene now, witness protection, living in Nebraska. I'm like, you're going to witness protection, go into another country. Don't stay in the U.S., especially Nebraska.
Right.
But each, first episode and some episodes, focus primarily post Breaking Bad, where Gene is at currently. His life, it's really depressing. He's somebody new. He works at Cinnabon as a manager, makes friends with some cops. There's always some sort of heist or something he's trying to, get money out of or sell or, do some shady stuff. So it's really interesting how they kind of show post Breaking Bad and then kind of tie it in with, how it all builds up to that moment.
Definitely. And Bob Odenkirk just got progressively better as the seasons went on. His acting just became phenomenal, especially in these last two seasons. They really gave him some great, story, and writing was so strong with this character, and just his character, how much he was able to change throughout the whole show. We saw him very young as Jimmy, and then, slowly going, morph into Saul. But, the whole time, just the way he displayed the emotions, the things that happened with his brother that really affected him. He always wore that on his sleeve. As he was Saul, he always made it sound like he was about the money, but deep down you knew that he was still Jimmy in there somewhere. And as the series went on and into the finale, it really deconstructed his character and went down to the core of who he really was. And ultimately, with what happened between him and Kim Wexler, Rhea Seehorn's character, really awesome to see their whole arc, from the very beginning shot of the show to the end there, where it ends up, and that the same kind of scene where they're smoking together, that really iconic finale. But just how it was juxtaposed from the first episode and how everything tied together awesomely, how we got to see Gus Fring again, see him build up his empire, how he's going against different elements that were out there that he had to clear out of the way before he could make his empire grow. And when him and Walter White eventually were going head to head, and he had Walter working for him, just how they put everything together was really phenomenal. And it's all due to Vince Gilligan and all the directors that he had in, Peter Gould, who directed the final episode, Melissa McLaren, a lot of the directors that came over from Breaking Bad. They knew the story so well. from episode to episode, there never was a time where I was like, this doesn't really feel like the same universe, or this doesn't feel like Breaking Bad. They're always able to keep this universe together and solid. And we even got some appearances from people that we didn't think we were going to see again. No spoilers, but everybody pretty much knows by now. But it was awesome to see them, and the way that they did it. They didn't like overemphasize or try to make them do something crazy for the last couple episodes. It was very organic, never forced. Everything felt like it ended up where it should have been.
It was just enough to feel satisfied. It wasn't like too much. It was just perfect. It made sense for that, those episodes with some cameos, some people, familiar faces that we know, obviously from Breaking Bad. Obviously they're older as well, but just be their younger versions, which is really funny. But also some other great cameos, other characters coming over from Breaking Bad, especially the final episode, which I thought was really well done, having to do with the death of somebody. But the way that all played out too, the whole prison scene was one of the best episodes ever. It's definitely in this series as well. This way it went out, it was so good. Like, caught me off guard. I was actually blown away like how good it was. I went in thinking it's going to be good, but it just blew me away. One of the best episodes ever for sure. Other characters you're talking about, obviously Gus Fring, Giancarlo Esposito returning. Love that actor. He's such a good villain. Obviously older version, but he did a really great job and really tying it all together and filling in the blanks that we didn't have from Breaking Bad, having to do with the lab and his empire and how he built that, and also doing with the Salamancas. Remember Hector?
Ding 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 ding.
Was freaking out. One of his relatives was the big bad guy in a few of the seasons, and I loved his character.
So much to love on this show. So many Easter eggs, callbacks to Breaking Bad. But Better Call Saul was its own thing, man. He created the show. It lives on its own. Even if you never saw Breaking Bad, you could watch Better Call Saul and be blown away by it. I loved it from the first frame to the last frame. Shed some tears at the end. Feels crazy that it's over. It had been going on for 6 seasons. It really went out on top. They didn't go too long. Felt like the perfect length for the series to do everything it needed to do. Plenty of surprises along the way. Characters, died and other things happened that wasn't expecting. And with the finale, like I mentioned, not something that I was expecting, and really taken aback by how well it came out, and really happy with how everything ended up in the Better Call Saul universe. With that being said, I am going to give Better Call Saul all the seasons from beginning to end. 6 great seasons of some of the best television ever. Obviously, I'm going to give this a perfect score because it deserves no less. Acting, writing, cinematography, everything about it, soundtrack, score, everything. Love it. Better Call Saul gets a perfect 5 out of 5 Bob Odenkirk hair pieces.
And what a beautiful send off for the show. Definitely one of the best prequels ever. I was just blown away from the series, all 6 seasons. I was so excited to see how this all ended and what happens to old Gene, Saul, and Jimmy behind me. And it's a really great send off between him and Kim. I loved that whole scene and the shot in the black and white in the prison. They're just amazing. Blew me away. Beautiful cinematography, score. And this, I love the intro song of the show. It was always, something I learned on guitar because I was so into it. It's just really well done. It really sets the tone of the show, kind of a different tone than Breaking Bad. But also getting a lot of legacy characters back in this series, seeing the younger versions of them prequel, pre-Breaking Bad, and how it all ties into them older selves and everything in that series. So I thought that was well done. Vince Gilligan is a mastermind. He's a genius. No doubt about that. I'm excited to see his future career outside of Breaking Bad universe. This is done, and this is a perfect send-off. I don't want any more. They went out on top. I couldn't ask for any more. Bob Odenkirk, Emmy Award-winning performance. Same with Rhea Seehorn. Probably one of the best couples in television ever. Just everything worked in this. Really kept me wanting more each episode as they dive further into these characters. Really phenomenal arc with Bob Odenkirk's character here, Gene and Saul, and you see him kind of turn into like a Heisenberg, person you start to love and really start to hate, just shady and always caring about money and nothing else, which, in reality is not the most important thing in life. So a lot of great themes here, just a lot of great Easter eggs all across the board. Perfect show for me, perfect finale. Blown away by this, and this is a show and series we highly recommend. So that being said, I'm going to give the series and the final season and finale of Better Call Saul a 5 out of 5 Bob Odenkirk hair pieces. So we want to hear from all you wild Breaking Bad fans out there. What did you like about Better Call Saul? What didn't you like about it? What's your favorite episode? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to click subscribe. Also, check out these wild boys on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and our website, Cinephellas.com, for the latest, greatest TV, movie news and reviews.
So that's it, man. The end of the Better Call Saul universe, Breaking Bad universe. It's over, what is there to look forward to? Like,
what now, Riverdale?
No. But after the show, AMC, did highlights that we're going to be getting more out of Bob Odenkirk on AMC. He's going to stay at the network in a new show. So I really look forward to that. And I look forward to seeing what Rhea Seehorn does after this. She has a new show as well. So I will be watching these guys, do their work, do their crafts, and hope that they clean house at the Emmys, pick up all the awards, because this show deserves them all. Awesome, send off for the show. I loved how Vince Gilligan brought back older actors who we'd seen, from years past, brought them back to the show. Several actors and actresses that we've seen from older shows. Carol Burnett in the last season.
Yes.
Thought that was really awesome. Really great character for her to play, that had a lot to do with what ended, what happened in the end. So just a great show. We're going to miss it. And I know all of you guys will too. If you guys haven't checked out Better Call Saul, if you're on the fence, you watched Breaking Bad and you didn't think it was going to get any better, definitely watch Better Call Saul. It's right there, shoulder to shoulder with Breaking Bad. And we think you guys will love it. So thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight to our review of the Better Call Saul saga, all 6 seasons, and that perfect finale for us. 5 out of 5. With that being said, we got to go back to the law offices. There's some criminals waiting for us, and we've got some deals to make.
Are we going back to Hamlin and Myers?
No, Saul. Until the next Cinephellas TV review, I'm Uncle Henry Hill.
And I'm Uncle Lawyer Logan Myers.
Cheese.